Life seems to crush your dreams, so find your balance for all your needs. A little work, some family fun. Find your love, keep your life on the run. Told you how the story goes, so write your own script before you grow old. Live your life, laugh out loud. Own who you are, stand up proud. You've got to find what works for you. Find a balance that lets you be you.
Good evening and welcome to the Show Live Podcast. It is a great Wednesday evening here for episode number 453. And this is Steven Zimmer broadcasting to you live out of Lexington, Kentucky. And not far from me is my awesome co-host, the vivacious, the loquacious, the audacious Holly Phillippe. Holly, how you doing? You're in here.
I am in here. Hello, hello.
Holly is the ultimate multitasker, so usually I expect her to log in like a minute or two after the show gets started, but she is
Usually, yeah.
here because it's going to be a big show, a very big show tonight. And we got some very special announcements, and then we have an absolutely phenomenal guest, and got late word that we are going to have another phenomenal guest calling in as well, talking about a super event that's coming up that is near and dear to us that you've been hearing a little bit about through those James Sabata voice spots the past several weeks. So, yeah, we're going to be covering quite a lot tonight on the show. So, without further ado, I'll ask Holly and see if she's got any further updates, and then we'll get to the announcements for the evening. So, Holly, do
No,
you have anything to cover?
I think that people are ready for the announcement. I do have a couple new workshops, a couple new panels, but
They're coming.
I've got a room full of people here that are on pins and needles.
Yes, and welcome to all the new listeners. Of course, we are a weekly show, usually every Wednesday night, and we run live on Wednesday nights. And on Thursday, we distribute to all kinds of platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, and many others. So you can listen to any of your favorite platforms. But yes, we're glad you joined us for the live show because this is always a very special one. And if you are in the chat room, yes, we do take comments and questions from there. So, and yes, we'll be looking in on that. And I see a lot of people coming in. Let's see,
Yes.
lots of folks coming in tonight. So, yeah, it's hard to give a full rundown because we got quite a crowd in here tonight. So, I'll get on with the announcements because, of course, the Star Chamber show is affiliated with the Imaginarium Convention. And so we always like to give you all the latest updates with the convention. And so we've real quickly, I'll give you the current updates since the past week. So we do that on our show every week. And then I'll give you the big announcement that I'm sure a few of you are waiting for. So So we did add one new spotlighted guest and two new panelists over the past week. We added as a spotlighted guest author, poet, and publisher Paul Stansbury, and he is an amazing author. Let me tell you, he is an amazing author who has over 130 published works. His poetry has appeared in numerous publications, and he's also the scheduling coordinator for the Jean Penn Lane Celebration of Kentucky Writers and the owner of Shepherd Press. And he's going to be giving a workshop, details to come, but I can give you a little bit about what it's going to be about, but it's going to be a fantastic workshop on how to give workshops. Yeah, because a lot of writers and all would love to, hone their craft on presentations and giving the actual workshop. And so that's what his workshop is going to be centered on. So, but we'll give you the full details as soon as he and Holly get that worked out. But I do know a little bit about it, so I thought I would share with everyone. And then we also have author and artist Mel Snyder coming for the very first time to Imaginarium as a panelist, and also for the first time as a panelist, author David G. Martin. So welcome to both of them. They're both super talented, and both of them are great writers. And you should definitely check out Mel's art. Absolutely great artist. And both of them are also going to be, as I understand, in the Creatives Alley. So you will be able to see them in the expo as well. So that's it as far as the new guest additions. So, what are we going to talk about tonight, Holly?
Oh, I
What's we
don't
going to
know. Maybe
hmm,
it's something to do with awards,
awards?
possibly.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, we've got awards to talk about, and that is the Imagine Awards. And they are a major part of the Imaginarium convention, definitely a part of highlight, a big part of our award ceremony that takes place on the Saturday of the convention weekend. We also have, of course, our Film Festival Awards, the Michael Nost Wings Awards, Staff Awards, and all that good stuff. I do want to point out this does not include, we have unpublished screenplay awards that are juried. And so what I'm announcing tonight does not include those because those are also part of the film festival. They're recognized as Imagine Awards and Film Festival Awards. They actually share recognition from both sides. And so those finalists are not going to be part of tonight because they are still open for submissions with the regular film festival entry deadline. So those are not going to be on this list. Those are still coming. So if any of you are listening tonight wondering where the screenplay finalists, after the film festival entries close, not long after that, we will be able to announce the finalists in the screenplay category. But here we go. So we'll start. We'll start right away, and I'll be going through each category, and I'll be giving you the title and the editors, if it's like an anthology or if it's an audiobook, the narrators. Otherwise, it will be the authors involved. And I will do my best to pronounce all the names as best as I can. Sometimes it gets a little tricky, so forgive me, folks, if I do make a little error. But we got to do our best here. So the 2025 Imagine Award finalists in each category are Best Anthology. Of course, this is multiple authors. The Rack, stories inspired by vintage horror paperbacks. The editor, Tom Deddy. Then we have Express Elevator to Hell, Universes at War, Book 1. Editors Chris Kennedy and Kelly Jones. Then we also have in the anthology category, It Came from the Trailer Park, Volume 3.5. Editors Phillippe K. Booker and William Joseph Roberts. So those are your finalists in the Best Anthology category. Now we will move on to Best Audiobook Narration. And we have Prince Liberator, the Prince of Britannia saga, Book 6, narrated by Michael Joss. The book is written by Fred Hughes. We also have The Gray Man Sunset. The narrator is Marcus Barton, written by J.L. Curtis. And so, yes, we do want to give recognition to the author of the book as well as the narrators. Blood, Sweat, and Steel, Tales of Future Combat and Mechanized Warfare, narrated by Brian Fairbank. And this is written by David Drake, Kevin Eikenberry, and William Joseph Roberts. Congratulations on the audiobook finalists. Now we'll move on to Best Children's Book. The Tractor Squad by Heather Dawn Torres. We also have Help, Santa is in Trouble from Effin Older. Yes, and that's the way you pronounce it. And then we
Stephen's
had to,
like, "Are
I
we
had to
sure?" I
clarify
said,
that
"Yes." I said,
when
"Yes, that's
when
it. I'll prove it to you."
yeah, when Holly sent over the committee's final selections to me and had all that for me to format, I did have to check on that, but that is indeed what
It
it
is
is.
true. Yeah, I checked.
And also in that category, we have Best Children's Book. We have She Spoke Too, 14 More Women Who Raised Their Voices and Changed the World by Kathy McMillan and Manuela Bernardi. All right, so congratulations to them, all of them. See, we have Best Cross Genre Novel, and this is a great category that we just added not too long ago. And in this category, we have The Fey Wars Insurgent from J.F. Holmes, Cursed by Bandits from Stephanie K. Clemens, and The Armored Hourd from Stephanie Hansen. So those are your finalists in Best Cross-Genre Novel. And then we move on to Best Faith-Based Novel. Wisdom of Our Elders, Living in Spirit, Wisdom, Deep Mercy, and Truth from Karen E. Sims Tolson. And then in Best Fantasy Novel, we have 3. We have Cursed by a Siren's Kiss, Riley Hunt and L.S. Embers, Atlantis, Land of Dreams with Edale Lane, and Chosen by the Sword from Charles Hackney. So those are your finalists in the fantasy category. Best Game Module Rulebook, Dark Places and Demogorgons Ultimate Edition. Josh Palmer is the author creator of that. And then in Best Graphic Novel Comic Book, Aristocratic Extraterrestrial Time Traveling Thieves Complete Collection from Henry Vogel. Okay, and then Best Historical Fiction, very large category. And some of these we had a large number, and a very large number of submissions. We do make an allowance and allow 4 finalists. This is one of them. We have The Long Winter of Midgarder, and this is by Edale Lane. Silent Mine from C.M. Saunders. Trail of Madness from Michael Nost. Lies in the Place of Truth from T. Lee Harris. Congratulations to our historical fiction novel finalists. And now we move on to the horror category. Mountain of Fire from Jason Cordova. Those Left Behind from Tom Detty. Ink Vine from Elizabeth Broadbent. And Never Have I Ever from Harker Jones. So those are your 4 finalists in the horror category. Now we will move on to Best Literary Fiction Novel finalists. Beach Therapy from Maddie James. Rooted in Sunrise from Beth Dotson Brown. And Return of the Goatman from Lawrence Wheel. Best Middle Grade Novel, Quantum Quirks, a Science Fiction Childhood from Adam Gaffin. A Story Unfinished from Melody Pendlebury. Okay, now we have Best Mystery Novel finalists. The Edge of Edisto from C. Hope Clark. We have Midnight, a Folly Beach Mystery from Bill Knoll. And we have The Scheme from Amethyst Drake. Best Nonfiction Book. We have You're Not Alone in the Dark from Eric J. Ginyard and Eugene M. Johnson. Then we have 100 Things Duran Duran fans should know and do during this life. A new quirky guide to nostalgia from 1978 to Dance Macabre. And that is by Sandy Lender. A Trick of the Tail, the story of every Genesis song. And this is by Jen Selinsky and Travis Potts. So congratulations to all of our nonfiction book finalists. And now we'll move on to Best Paranormal Romance Novel. Spider King from Paige Sky. We have What a Dragon Desires from Ava Cuvée. And we have The House on Darkling Street from Annette Miller. And those are your finalists in the Best Paranormal Romance category. Then we have Best Poetry Collection Single Author. Imitation of Life by L. Marie Wood. Pens, Parchment, and Pain from Jason William Allen. And Torn from Jen Selinsky. Congratulations to our Best Poetry Collection finalists. And now we move on to Best Romance Novel. We have 4 here. Addicted from Isla Cox. Given a Chance, the R&B series Book 2 from Olivia Linden. Group Hug from Ariella Talix. And then Hell's Bells, Love and War from John LaForce. So those are your 4 finalists in Best Romance Novel. Best Science Fiction Novel, we have The Prince Conqueror, The Prince of Britannia, Saga Book 7 by Fred Hughes. Salvage Purgatory from Kevin Steverson and Nick Steverson and Jason Cordova. Path to Freedom from James Copley. 2028, Tomorrow is the Day from L.R. O'Brien. So congratulations to our Best Science Fiction Novel finalists there. And now we will move to Best Short Story Collection Single Author, another category with 4 finalists. We have Shadow's Gate from Sharon Marie Provost. We have Doll Seed Stories from Michelle Tracy Berger. Side Hustle, Volume 1 from Jason Cordova, and Self-Made Monsters, Feminist Horrors from Rebecca Cuthbert. So congratulations to all of our Best Short Story Collection finalists. And now on to the Best Short Story category. Northward Stones Mark a Crooked Path from Tommy B. Smith. Los Envies from John Palisano. Kaleidoscope from Barbara V. Evers. And Red Waves of Slaughter from Stephen L. Shrewsbury. Congratulations to our Best Short Story finalists. And then Best Song Lyrics, we have Frozen from Jason William Allen. And then Best Steampunk Novel, we have Hell's Acre from Lilith St. Crow. And The Darkness of Dying in the Light from S.E. Reed. Congratulations to our Best Steampunk Novel finalists. And now we move on to Best Thriller Novel finalists. Doubling Down from Dan Kemp. Sapphic Lover 69 from E. Dale Lane. Mission Black, Father Black Book 1 from Mick Williams. And Harvest of Evil, Book 1 of the John Fisher Chronicles, William M. Lehman. And those are your Best Thriller Novel finalists for 2025. Now we will move on to Best Urban Fantasy Novel. Rika's Grasp, and this is by H.Y. Greger. Lies and Illusion by L.R. Braden. And then Pinky Promise from J.D. Blackrose. Congratulations to our Best Urban Fantasy Novel finalists. And then our last category of the evening, we have Best Young Adult Novel finalists. We have Superficial from Diane Billis. Pride and Persistence from Joe Chianakas. Then we have The Princess Scout by Henry Vogel. And The Dreams of Gemini from K.B. Carlisle. So those are your finalists for Imaginarium 25 in the Imagine Awards. So yeah, that was quite a list, but wow.
It is quite a list. And let me tell you, if you have made it to the finalist, you earned it.
Yeah,
Because I'm telling you,
a
we
lot
we
of
have our
submissions too.
record number of entries.
Nominations. Yeah.
We had, oh my gosh, the it was very hard for them to come up with this because there is so much competition and great competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is some phenomenal books and these finals. So if you made it, you really earned it. And those that didn't, believe me, it were some close calls.
Yeah, the
So
scoring was
yeah,
tight
don't
in a lot of
yeah, it
places.
was very tight.
Yeah.
So don't be hard on yourself. You
Yeah.
just try again next year because I'm telling you, people are up in their game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like I told people, I mean, it was like we got a large surge over last year's total. Last year's total was record breaking, so
Yeah.
that's why it took another week for the selection committee to even finish it because we just simply had a lot to go through. And yeah, I mean, but looking at this list, because I didn't get to see it until I got it for formatting the email newsletter and the website, and then had it for the show. But when I looked at this list, I was like, wow. I mean, because I recognize a lot of the names and writers, and I'm familiar with their work, and just great writers, and some writers that haven't been in the past who are great writers, who I noticed on that list too. And so I was really wow. I mean, it's definitely an honor to be on this. And yes, so if you are a finalist, you will be getting a laurel from Holly, and so feel free to use
Yes.
that on anything you want.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
next couple days, I don't know if I'll get them, all out. It's a lot of emails. So
Yep.
bear with me. I will try my best to get them out, at least by the weekend. But I will work on some tomorrow, work on some Friday and Saturday. So yeah,
Yep.
I'll be working on them. So watch your emails.
Watch your emails. Yep. And after we wanted to promise everybody we would announce this live, but it will be now posted on the website, and we will be sending out our weekly e-newsletter with that list. So yeah, keep an eye out on that.
And it will be posted. It'll be posted on the site because I'll give a shout out to Mr. William Joseph Roberts from Three Ravens. Whoop whoop. He is listening. I just spoke with him a few minutes ago and said, "Hey, sir, your
Yeah,
name's been mentioned a few times."
yeah, it has
So
been.
yeah,
I can
he is
verify.
listening,
I read
and
it.
he's very excited, and yeah. So I will get those laurels out to you.
I'm
Just give
just
me
glancing
a
in
day
here. It
or
looks
two.
like we got a few of the finalists are in the chat
Yeah,
room.
we do have a few in there, which
So,
is
awesome.
awesome.
But we're running just a hair behind. So on the main show, we want definitely stay with us because you're about to hear from two great writers and talking about a great event. But real quickly, we do want to acknowledge the folks that brought you tonight's show. Of course, it's Ren Garcia and, of course, Sandy Lender, longtime supporter of the Star Chamber show. And so I'll give you a couple of spots from them. And I am going to go ahead and run the James Sabata spot, even though you're going to be hearing an awful lot more about this tonight because we like to hear James Sabata's voice because James is,
We do.
he's awesome.
We love to hear
And
James Sabata.
it makes us smile when we hear his voice. So, yeah, you're going to hear
Definitely
that
does.
spot too.
Definitely.
If you've been listening the last few weeks, you know what I'm talking about. But first, here's Ren.
The League of Elder dares to be unusual. It's easy to be swept away in this bold and uninhibited landscape where fantastic heroes become old friends and sinister villains inhabit every dark corner. Dare to explore things best left alone. Each book is your lantern, lighting the path to a world never before seen. So what do you say? Are you weird enough for us?
Absolutely, Ren. Thank you, Ren. We really appreciate you. And yes, we are weird enough for you. It's a creative world. And here we go. We're gonna move over and give you a little spot from Sandy Lender. Yeah, definitely great. And congratulations to Sandy. Yes, nonfiction category finalist. Yeah, she's a tremendous writer. Absolutely tremendous. And I do need to get a copy of that book that was that made the finals tonight. I do need to get that and read it because
The
I do have
Duran
to like
Duran, yeah.
Duran Duran. I do like Duran Duran. So here's from Sandy.
Are you a creative person working a 9-to-5 job to survive? Let's look at how to keep your energy and joy alive with the new motivational business book, Capture Your Dream, from author Sandy Lender. In Capture Your Dream, Sandy offers stories, lessons, inspiration, SWOT analysis, goal stacking strategies, and more to help you map your plan to achieve a dream job or side hustle. As a creative herself, Sandy knows it takes compromise and commitment to keep the day job to survive while chasing the dream to thrive. Assess your dragon score. Learn more about Capture Your Dream at AuthorSandyLender.com.
And I do know that particular book that you just heard about, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. So pick yourself up a copy. Definitely great on the motivational side. And last but not least, let's hear James Sabata's voice again before we go into and yes, it's the theme for tonight's show. So here you go, Mr. Sabata.
The Spirited Giving fundraiser returns on Thursday, March 27th, as part of AuthorCon V in Williamsburg, Virginia, featuring author readings from Jamie Flanagan, Brian Keene, D.M. Guay, and Rebecca Cuthbert, as well as a live performance of the epic podcast series, The Midnight Pals. All proceeds go directly to Scares That Care, a 501c3 nonprofit that has raised and donated over $300,000 to burn victims, women fighting breast cancer, and families with a child affected by illness. Check out spirited-giving.com for more information. Spirited Giving. It's gonna be one hell of a night.
And thank you very much, James, for that. We'd love to do all we can to support. And on that note, we're going to bring in the first of both of our guests, and then we'll announce the second guest. They each deserve their own introductions, of course. And so first, I will bring on an author, editor, poet, and publisher. She is the founder of Undertaker Books, an absolutely phenomenal small press. And she is also going to be a panelist at the Imaginarium Convention, and as of tonight, is a finalist. And it's a finalist in the Imagine Awards as well. And so welcoming back onto the show for the second time, the one, the only, Rebecca Cuthbert. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello. Thank you so much for
There you-
having me on again.
Great to have you.
course.
Great. And just absolutely a blast to have you back on. We love talking with you, and of course we're going to be talking about such a great project tonight. And but today we did find out that we are going to have a second guest coming aboard with you for tonight's show. And so, guess what? I get to do another introduction, don't I? Yeah, there we go. So tonight we also have a great author of supernatural fiction and who is an award-winning journalist who is also a hobby-earned farmer and currently attempting to grow 1,000-pound pumpkin in her backyard, and also a retired roller derby player. And this guest is joining us for the very first time on the Star Chamber Show, so it's my honor and pleasure to bring aboard for the first time ever D.M. Guay, and your mic should be on as well. So welcome to the show.
Hello, surprise! I'm your surprise bonus guest.
I love
Well,
it.
you have a
Welcome.
wonderful podcast voice. Oh my!
Oh,
Yeah, you
thanks.
should go in. You should get you a podcast going, girl.
Yeah, because I need more to do. Like, really?
Oh well, don't we all? Don't we all? That's what we do.
Yeah, like just like Rebecca, she knows she knows what it's like to put a million things on a plate. Yeah.
Oh, I know. She likes to tell me about it all the time.
But tonight it's going to be fun, and I do want of course, you to share some things about what both of you are up to creatively. But obviously, the theme of tonight is also going to be focusing on the upcoming Spirited Giving event, and that is part of the Scares That Care, of course, at AuthorCon V up here in Williamsburg, Virginia. So, and that's a couple of weeks away. So, yeah, you both are going to be there. So, tell us a little bit about it all.
Well, James is a buddy of mine, and I was so excited when he invited me to be a part of it. And he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about asking DM Guay. What do you think?" And I was like, "You definitely should." And then I helped peer pressure her into it.
I mean, that's a nice way of saying what happened. I've never met James before in person, and before he messaged me to be part of this, I had never, talked to him before, but apparently he read my series, 24/7 Demon Mart, and he was a longtime reader. And then he found out Rebecca was a friend of mine, and he's like, "Oh, this is the perfect way to strong armor her into like doing this event and facing all of her fears of standing up in front of people and reading things like while people stare at her, because that's not terrifying, but yeah,
she's gonna be great. And we messaged her until we wore her down. And
they wore me down. Yeah, they totally wore me down. There's evidence. So, but I'm happy to be doing it for reasons. So
do you want to give us the full lineup on who's going to be appearing? Because it looks like a great group that you've got to pull together for this.
It's going to be so much fun to be there. Jamie Flanagan is another one of the readers, and they are just so fantastic on stage, off stage, on screen, everywhere. The one and only Brian Keene, also of Scares That Care. We've got me and Dee, and then there's also going to be a live performance of the Midnight Pals, featuring Bitter Corella, Laurel Hightower, Todd Kiesling, Brian Keene, Weil E. Young, and Stephen Kozanowski. That's going to be
wow.
Good. That's good. Like, right? That's a good time.
Yeah,
that's a lineup.
Yes, that's a lineup. Yeah, all amazing talents. Yeah, I saw that when that was put together. I was like, wow, that's the way to kick off the AuthorCon V weekend.
It is, and there's a cocktail hour at 6:00, and Sonora tailors specially designed cocktails for the evening.
Ooh, signature cocktails. I always love those.
That's where you're going to find me. You'll find me at the bar.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be me. Yeah,
I'll be at the bar with you. It'll be great.
There you go. That would be me. I wish we could make it this year. Doggone it. It was closer, but it just didn't work out again. But we need 10 more things, right? We'd like to be everywhere for everybody, but it just doesn't work out that way. Life happens, unfortunately.
It sure does. we're excited about going. We're going to have a couple of drinks before we go on so that we don't notice as much if we mess up.
Well, when I was
that's
talking to James,
imaginary, evenings, we have a few drinks,
Hey, I'm going to be
Yeah.
there too.
That's right.
Yes, that's
That is right.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's right.
That's going to be fun. But what is your most what are you looking forward to most? I'll let you both answer this and why. So there you go. Two-part question, and Rebecca, you can start, and then DM could go.
All right. So this has not been widely announced yet, but Jamie and I may or may not be dressing up as a couple of twins horror fans will recognize
Ooh,
for selfies.
Nice.
We may or may
awesome.
not have bought matching outfits.
wow, now I feel
Man.
left out. You weren't even going to
Yeah.
tell me about this, were you?
Nobody knows. I mean, now everybody knows who's
Now everybody knows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been keeping it pretty quiet. But
Ooh,
it's going to be hilarious if nothing else. But we do hope to raise a few bucks. People can put $1 in the jar and take a selfie with us.
that
Yeah.
is fun. What a great idea. I
Well,
love it.
it was a joke because Jamie and I kind of look alike. And so we have this silly joke. We tell people we're twins. And
Fan.
so I made a stupid joke to Jamie. And I said, we should dress up as the twins from a particular movie.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, there's no reason we can't. And then I messaged James. And of course, James Sabata is
Well,
like, yes,
all over it.
doing
Yeah.
it. And so it was like
100%.
in 30 seconds, a joke became a plan.
That's
how
what
it always
happens
goes.
when you put a bunch of creative heads together. This is exactly what happens.
Yep.
Fun
Yeah, no
things
pressure.
happen.
No pressure. I'm going to have to up my game in the next couple of weeks and come up with something else.
Love it.
Well,
That is
maybe
so much
next year.
fun.
Maybe next year, Holly, we can do our Nadja and Laszlo cosplay
Yes,
at
we're waiting.
Spirited
Me
Giving.
and him want to do that so bad. See, maybe we can go to Spirited Giving next
Yes,
year and
that's what I'm
have people
thinking.
pay a
Yeah.
dollar, or no, we'll charge them $5 because
Oh,
we'll say
Holly.
no, we're
No.
upping it. Where for
Worth
inflation,
every penny.
and it's all going to be given to a good cause. So there you go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
There you go.
You can start a new trend here. This is awesome.
I
But
love
every
it.
penny.
yeah, definitely hope you get some good photos of that to share. Yeah, because I've
We
Oh
will.
yeah, I want to see that.
We will
Yeah, I wanna see
absolutely
that.
post some of those.
Yeah, that is going to be
Well, thank you
great.
for sharing that. So
welcome.
DM, what are you looking forward to most, and why?
I don't have anything nearly as funny and magical planned, even though I'm there to be like the comic relief. So Rebecca and James tried their best to peer pressure me, but that's ultimately not why I said yes. It's because Spirited Giving and Scares That Care, like their mission to help people that are going through a hard time, is really near and dear to my heart. So
Mhm.
in 2017 at Christmas, I was given like a terminal cancer diagnosis and given 6 months to
Oh,
live.
oh
And
God.
surprise, I'm still here. But
Well, congrats.
that almost came true. And during that time, I realized that like, being sick in America is very isolating, very stressful, very,
Yeah.
financially tenuous. And during that time, it really meant a lot to me and made a difference in my life that people that I had never met before, like rallied around me to do things for me. And those kind of small acts of kindness, like people don't realize that those really do add up and make a difference. So if you like donate to Scares That Care or pay for a ticket to this event, like that money really does make a difference in people's lives who are going through a really hard time. So that is very near and dear to my heart. So because people had, done those kind things for me in the past, and I feel like it's my time, since I am a survivor, to like, pay back that kindness. And this is one way that I can use my silliness and the ridiculous job that I have in order to do those things in order to repay some of the kindness that I was given when I was sick and I needed it the most. So that's not nearly as funny as Rebecca's plan, but
It's a
that
lot
is the
more
reason that is in
important.
Well,
my
no,
heart. So
but it's beautiful. And kudos to you, for wanting to give back. And I think that shows great strength and resilience and kindness, on your part. And that makes you a very honorable person. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
definitely. And that's something that's near and dear to me because, of course, some of the people on the show know, but my dad, his life's path was as a cancer researcher, professor.
mhm.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I was around the world of cancer research and everything like that for a life. Yeah, I said so. Yeah, I definitely applaud you, and I'm so glad to hear that
Well,
you
guys
were
like your dad
covered.
saved people like me. So I'm forever
Yeah,
grateful.
but yeah, congratulations, and but yeah, it's something I was talking to James. He was giving me, and unfortunately, it slipped my mind the kind of figures he was giving me. But yet, AuthorCon V, it scares that care and everything that's involved. It's a pretty substantial amount of money that's been raised for some
More
of
than
these.
$300,000, I
Yeah,
think,
that's it.
Yeah.
over
That's
the
it.
years.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Just couldn't remember the exact figure James had given me, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very substantial amount.
I think
And
they give 10,000 to each of their recipients, if that's
mhm,
right.
and it's 3 per year minimum, I think, or per event.
So
I'm
cool.
not sure. But yes.
yeah,
Yeah, so we're
so,
helping them raise that money this year.
yeah, it
Nice.
is. And it's kind of the kickoff as looking at the schedule. It's kind of the kickoff for AuthorCon V in a way. In a way, it is because it's coming
Absolutely.
out on
It's
that
going to be a
third.
fun pre-party.
Yeah, it's on that like the Thursday evening, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
27th.
Mhm, the 27th, and so
And
that's how you get.
I'm
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, I'm glad to see, since when COVID happened, a lot of conventions shut their doors for good,
Mhm.
and it was sad. And we understand because we know the financial burden and responsibility there goes to putting on one. Um, we did ours virtual for COVID year, and it was oh, it's not the same. It's not the same as the in person, as we all know, because you don't get to give hugs. You don't get to sit and enjoy each other's presence and energy and smiles, and it's just not the same, right? We are creatures of needing other creatures. We need humans to be able to sit down and spend time with. So I'm glad to see that more conventions are popping up. More conventions are coming around and doing more charities, and we're getting our circle bigger, right? We're growing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we all, like to support each other. We like to help each other because we want to see each other succeed, and we want to see all these creatives succeed.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So it's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. And AuthorCon V is amazing. I mean, every
Yes.
friend of mine that attends as a guest or exhibitor, I mean, I've heard nothing but great things
Hmm.
about it. I just, again, Holly and I get tied down so much with
And it's a
5,000
shame, but we
things,
do.
and
Yeah.
I know both of you understand what that's like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, AuthorCon V is an amazing event, and could you give us a little bit of insight into the AuthorCon V weekend? Because I think I'd love to give people a picture of this great convention.
Oh, yeah. So it's at the Doubletree Hilton in Williamsburg, which is a pretty big hotel. So there's a giant ballroom that gets turned into a vendor room for the weekend. Obviously, mostly books at a place that's called AuthorCon.
Yeah.
But there are some some nice little crafts and other art and things like that. And then there's the promenade, which is a giant hallway where you've got more vendors set up. There's the auditorium, which is where we'll be doing our readings for Spirit of Giving. And then there are all sorts of breakout rooms because the whole weekend is full of readings and panels and workshops.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard the programming there is fantastic, and certainly with folks like you involved, it definitely will be. But I was curious as far as Undertaker Books, and by the way, we did get to celebrate Elizabeth Broadbent today as our Imaginarium Writer Wednesday selection, and so we put
Awesome.
out a bunch of posts on that. But how many of your authors are going to be there? Because I love what you're doing with Undertaker.
Thank you so much. Well, so Elizabeth herself will be there. It's very exciting. She's going to
Nice.
be selling her 2 books that are with Undertaker, Inkvine, which is one of your finalists. I was very excited to hear that. She's got another novel with us, 98 Sabers. And then she's got Blood Cypress, which is going to be coming out through Raw Dog Screaming this April. So she's going to be there. Also, Kathleen Palm is going to be there. We have her book Into the Gray coming out next month. That's a middle grade horror book, and it's part of her Nowhere series. And then we've got a bunch of our anthology authors who are going to be there too, which is exciting because I'm going to get to meet a lot of them for the first time.
That's what I love about conventions is when you finally get to meet somebody face to face that you've been interacting with online, doing work with,
Yes.
and definitely a fun aspect of the live event kind of environment. That's why I was glad that virtual situation we had to face a few years back was only for 1 year. But we did get F.
Yes.
Paul Wilson. We did get F. Paul Wilson as guest of honor back to back because of that, though, because
We
he
did.
agreed to come
We did.
back and do the live event the next year because of the previous one was virtual only. So
Oh,
we
nice.
actually got F. Paul Wilson twice. He helped us bridge the COVID gap there. But
He
he's
did.
got
Bless his heart.
what a nice guy, and definitely knows his bourbon too. But
Sounds like my kind of guy.
yeah, oh yeah, just a great guy. What a nice guy. But yes, it's going to be. I also want to mention too, Rebecca. Yeah, we can't wait. By the way, to celebrate the first year of Undertaker Books. We are going to do details to come, but we are going to do a special event that will be on our schedule during the Imaginarium weekend to celebrate you for a year because that is impressive.
Thank you so much. We're
Yeah.
really excited. So our birthday is in April, but we're gonna delay our birthday party a little bit so that we can have it at Imaginarium. We're
Yep.
so excited.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
we're
now I
honored
feel like
to-
I'm missing out.
I tried to bully you into that one too, and you said no.
You
I said
definitely need
July
to.
was already booked up. I mean,
Oh,
there- it happens. We
you
get
got to
it,
get on
believe
that calendar in advance,
Yep.
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
It's true. Yeah. But it's going to be a fun celebration. But the year's been a good one for you, and I've loved following online everything that you've been doing with Undertaker, and certainly growing and got a great team with you, and couldn't be more confident and excited for the future with you and Undertaker.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have one just coming out in a couple of days. It's called Treasured Guest by Charlotte Platt. It is such a great book. It is hotel horror set in Scotland. It's got cosmic horror, it's got ghosts, it's got body horror, and much, much more. So if anybody's looking for a great read, pick up a copy of Treasured Guest in just a couple of days, and pre-orders are open now.
Nice, very nice. And so about, I'd like to find out a little bit more because this is the first time, DM, that you've been on our show, and so definitely want to get an idea of your work and some of the things that you've got going on writing wise, because I'm really curious.
You're like, who the hell is this lady?
Oh no.
What? I write a horror comedy series called 24/7 Demon Mart, and I'm 6 books into the main series, and I have 4 or 5 side novellas that go with that, and I've been working on that since 2019. So it seems like the series will never end, but it's been very good to me. So it's about a corner store in Columbus, Ohio, where the beer cave is the gate in and out of hell. So a guy who lives with his parents, who's kind of a lovable loser, can't get his life together, gets a job there for the graveyard shift, thinking he's going to be stocking beer. And then he discovers that his real job is like fighting monsters and saving the world. So
Nice.
yes. And the exciting new entry this year is that we have a soundtrack 7-inch record. So I teamed up with an independent band in Illinois called the X Bombers, and they wrote 2 songs for the series, and we put out a 7-inch record. So yeah, pretty
That
exciting
is
for
so
them.
cool.
That is awesome because I'm a vinyl fanatic. So
Oh my
any
gosh,
Yes,
I
it
am
is.
too. And we did like some black vinyl, but we did some limited edition green glow in the dark vinyl. And of course, as soon as I picked it up from the record place, like when you've had those like toys from the 1970s, the little Draculas that, would
yeah,
glow in the dark, you'd have to hold it under the lamp. So I was
Oh
totally
yeah.
holding it under the lamp and then running into the closet to see if it glowed. And it
Oh
totally
yeah.
glowed. So
now,
so
can one still get copies, or is this sold out? What's the
I still have
situation?
copies. I'm actually going to bring them with me to Scares That Care. So in
Oh,
limited
neat.
quantities. So, but yeah, so I write horror comedy. I'm the silly one, which I think is why James wanted me to do Spirited Given. He sent me a message when he was trying to talk me into it that I'm going to read to you now and hope that I'm not going to hurt his feelings. But he's like, we need you for the comedy. And I was like, well, what about everybody else? He's like, Jamie will break everyone's hearts and make them cry. Brian Keene will make everyone go, that was fast. Why is he done already? And Rebecca will hit them with funny, sad ghost, maybe poetry. I was like, oh, so James, that's what you get for sending us on this podcast. Now your secret's out. So I was like, okay, so he picked me because I'm kind of known for horror comedy. So that's
Well,
me. Do you have any other questions?
well, Lord knows we need a few more laughs in this world. So yes, James is
Yes.
I know.
astute in that. Yeah, and I had to laugh when you mentioned Brian King because he was another guest of honor of ours in the past, and just
Mhm.
love Brian. And yeah, that's that's an accurate description. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
How his readings go. He's like,
yeah,
thank you. Goodbye. I'm done. That was it. That was it.
yeah.
Mhm.
200 words. I'm done. I was like, well, maybe he's onto
Efficient.
something there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Efficient. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Very
yes,
efficient.
but it sounds like you got a good rhythm going because by my math, that's about a book a year in your series. Then,
Oh, I know,
so it's
but
not,
I started out in indie universe, and 1 book a year is considered slow.
yeah.
So, um, I mean, it's
Well,
good to have this problem, but as soon as a book comes out, I'm like, oh, I feel like this relief because it takes so long to get them. It takes a year to get them written and edited and everything, and then it's like 24 hours later, I start getting the emails from readers like, when's the next one? And I'm like, ah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's good to have that problem, but it's also like, oh my god, the pressure. So yeah,
Well,
I can't write fast enough.
well, your readers won't have to get as worried as like the George R.R. Martin fans, which because
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still
they
waiting on Winds of
name
Winter.
drop. They're like, don't
Yeah,
turn into a George R.R. on us, and
yeah,
more than a year, we're going to be like coming for you.
yeah.
So
I'm still waiting on Winds of Winter myself. So yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
aren't
I
we
know what
all?
that's like.
Aren't we all?
But
Yes.
hey, that's a good pace though for a series.
He's
Absolutely.
too busy. What does he blog about the New York Giants? Is that his team or the
I was gonna
Jets?
He,
say I don't think
He
he does a
blogs
whole
about like
lot.
a team, and everybody gets
he's
mad that
That's
his
opening.
team
about
is
all
not
he
doing that.
does. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not a whole lot. He
He's
ought to
about
live in the indie world. Yeah.
He's about to open like a small pub restaurant that's in his. It's got a medieval theme, and
Oh
Mhm.
it
yeah.
only holds like about 60 people. But he's about to open a new pub restaurant. So this month it
When he
opens
should
this
be
month.
writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
I've noticed that, like with readers, God bless them, I love them all. But it's like if I try to do some other project, like with the record, they're like, "Why did you spend time on a record when you should have been typing the next book that I'm waiting for?" And I was like, "Geez, you
yeah,
guys, it's like I'm trying to do all this
right.
fun stuff and have this awesome universe of coolness for you to walk into, and you're like, sit down, button seat, hands on
Right.
keyboard. What's wrong with you?" And it's like, okay,
That's right.
but it's a good problem to have. I'm lucky. I love them all very much.
Well,
So
Holly can vouch for me on this because all my life I've always wanted to find a way to do something on vinyl, and you've done it. So,
Yes.
well, what's stopping
major
you?
yeah, that is great.
The whole record, it started because my best friend used to live in Illinois, and this was like the band that she would go see like during the pandemic because they played outside, and she loved them. So they came to Ohio, which is where I live, and did a show, and it was like in the parking lot of some brewery on a boiling hot night. So we're just sitting at a picnic table, and they take a break from playing, and they come over to the table because they know my best friend. And then we just started talking about it, and I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we had a soundtrack album? And then that was it. Like we just
That is
it
awesome.
came up with it over
Nice.
a couple of beers in a parking lot, and then it happened. So here we are.
That is cool. That has got to be one of the coolest things I've
Again,
ever.
when you
Yeah.
put a couple creatives together, yeah, you never
Yes,
know what's going to come out of that.
that's true. Serendipity. So
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah,
How fun.
we've even had ideas come up on the show that the guest has even pursued at right after the show. So it
Mhm.
happens anytime, anywhere. Sometimes you just have to
Yep,
get that spark,
Yeah,
but
when
that
you
has
get
got to
nerds
be.
together, magic
Yeah,
happens.
it
that's it.
happens.
Exactly right. Our
It
brains
happens.
never sleep. So, hmm
So who are some of the other folks that you'd like to spotlight that are going to be at AuthorCon this weekend? Are there some others that you'd like to highlight? That you're either friends of yours or part of your professional circles or
yeah, what you know's
Rebecca,
coming.
you want to start? I'm super excited. I could go on and on, so I'll let Rebecca have
Um,
first crack.
I want to call out James again, just because he's the one who put this all together, and um, James is one of those organizers who would probably rather like stay backstage and like just push us out,
Yeah.
you know, and clap behind the curtain. But he does so much for other people, and he's my buddy, and I just love him. So I'm really excited to
Mhm.
see him.
Well, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited because my table mate is Rick Gualtieri, and he writes horror comedy as well. There aren't that many of us, so we all have to stick together. We run in packs. But he's best known for like Bill the Vampire and Mike the Werewolf. So he writes a lot of funny stuff, and he's been at this way longer than me. And then Matt Dinneman is coming. He's going to be in the Promenade as
Yeah.
well. And nobody in the horror community talks about him, but like if you're in the fantasy community, everybody's in love with him right now because Dungeon Crawler Carl just became a New York Times bestseller, and
Oh yeah.
he's long been a part of the horror community. Like he's in the HWA, and he loves to read horror. But yeah, so he's super excited that this is going to be his first one. So me and him and Rick will all be out in the promenade in the hallway. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And another guy who's in my my horror writers chapter is John Ward, and I'm excited about him because he writes middle grade horror and
Ooh.
kind of like a new Goosebumps sort of thing. And we've done events before where kids came on day one and bought his books, and then they were back the very next day because they stayed up all night reading those books. And that just like totally warms my heart because horror for kids, I mean, those are the on-ramp for the future fans. So and I feel like
Well,
there aren't many of us
thank
that are
you.
writing that in that space, and it's super important. So
Well, it
I'm
is,
excited that
and
he's
thank
going to be
you.
there.
Well, thank you for giving me that name because I have got a granddaughter, Raven, who is almost
Uh-huh.
11, and we can't get her books fast enough. And
Yeah,
we
his
got her
series
started
is
on Goosebumps, and she loves
mhm.
spooky books. She loves
Oh
spooky
yeah.
things. So,
Yeah.
and her name's
He writes
Raven. So,
Welcome to Scareville. So
nice.
yeah, he's got a whole series,
Yeah.
and the kids were eating him up, and they loved it. So he does have like a
Nice.
creepy mannequin of a kid that's super creepy that he keeps in front of his table, but just don't like turn around and be like, because you didn't expect it to be there, but it'll be there. So
It'll be there.
Well,
creepy dolls. And what could go wrong, right?
Well,
Oh,
you could
yeah,
tell
right?
him that as a matter of fact, that you have increased his book sales by appearing on the Star Chamber show. Because I know
Oh,
Yes.
we'll get these for Raven. I know we
well,
will.
Yes,
he's
we
silly
will.
though. Middle grade
Yes.
women's
Yeah,
horror is super
yeah,
fantastic and super important. So I
yeah.
feel
And
like
it's
that's just
hard.
a
I think
really
it's difficult. It's difficult to write.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Anyone else
absolutely.
that you could think of?
I'm gonna be there as like a little fangirl too. So,
Okay.
I love Jonathan Jans. He's one of the guests at AuthorCon. I love his stuff, so I'm just gonna like nervously, sneak around and hope he looks at me or something and try to get up my nerve to get him to sign something.
If I say, hey, this is Rebecca. Hey, look over here. Do you think he'll look?
I don't know. I'll probably make a
Will you
weird
be
face
horrified
and
and melt into the okay.
I'll
That's happening
She'll
now,
go
by the way.
squeak, and then yeah.
That's totally
I think
happening.
we all have that one or two people that we can't
Mhm.
help ourselves, right? Now,
Yep.
this year, now I run the convention with Steven. So now this year, huh, I've got PC Cast coming as an Imaginator guest, right? And I've got to contain myself because I have been a fan of hers for like almost 2 decades, right? I
Mhm.
love her, and never in a million years would I ever dream that I'd be in the place I am now and be able to meet her. So yeah, being in the creative world is wild
It
because
is.
you never know who you're gonna meet or come across.
No, like they're
Mhm.
just in the room with you, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like, how am
sharing
I in the
space.
same room with these people? Red Lago's gonna be there. I'm gonna be a nerd around her. Shane Hawk also. Laurel Hightower, she's like
Mhm.
a friend, but I still kind of love
She's
her.
awesome.
So
Yeah,
I,
she's great.
Hmm.
I probably weird her out. But I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm
Rule number
gonna
one,
make her
Rebecca,
hang
is
out with
don't
me
be
anyway.
creepy.
I know.
Don't be creepy.
I'm just gonna be like in the corner, smiling and like looking at people,
That is
waving.
all lies. That is 100% lies, and I'll tell you why I know that is because I met Rebecca at my very first StokerCon, and we were there, like, the night before, and she was just like, "You're gonna be my friend, come on," and that was it.
That's
So there is no cowering in the corner. She just adopts
no.
you, and then you can't get rid of her, and then she's your bestie. I mean, that's how it goes.
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
well, Holly and I.
that's
I was
actually
gonna say
how I
Holly and I
made
clicked
Okay.
right away with her at
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
had
she's
that
just that
Mm.
weekend writing
person that,
retreat
you
at
know, it's great.
Yeah.
Michael Nost and Tim
And me
Wagner,
and
and we
me
met.
and,
Yeah.
me and Rebecca found out that we share our love of wine. So yeah, we popped open some corks, and we
Mhm.
had a great weekend visiting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
was such an
Yeah.
awesome weekend. That
It
was so
was.
great.
Mhm.
I would do that
It
again in a
was.
heartbeat.
Yeah, that was a good weekend.
Well,
But
I did notice that Ben Farthing is coming, and oh my gosh, his books. He writes that like there's Christmas lights slithering up my street, and I found Muppets in my apartment walls, like
Yeah.
really just something new and different. Like, yeah. So I'm super excited for him because he just kind of burst on the scene a couple years ago with these books that immediately became beloved on like Book Talk and stuff. And I was like, with good reason because they were just something different and fresh. So I'm pretty excited. I
mhm.
might cruise by his table and play it cool. Like, hey, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
Cool books. Cool
How you
books. What's
doing?
up? Yeah.
It's fun. It's so
These are the
fun.
things where you say you're like, oh, I'll only buy 5 books, and then you end up with
Uh huh.
25 new books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like one of those books that I'm like excited to share with my readers, because it's just something fresh. So
Mhm.
I buy a
Right.
lot of signed
Right.
copies for them.
Now, are
Everybody
either of
should
you?
sign up
Oh,
for
sorry.
Dee's newsletter,
Oh, geez.
Monsters in Your Inbox. It's such a great newsletter because it's not like a standard newsletter. I know a lot of authors have newsletters, but DMs is really, really fun. So everybody
Mhm.
should go sign up.
And it's like due out tomorrow, and it's like the 1 month I don't already have it ready. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for pitching it the night I'm going to be up until 1 in the
You're,
morning trying to figure out what I'm going to write.
you're
Thanks, Rebecca. No pressure.
Well, I was on the Star
You're
Chamber Show
cool.
podcast, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca called me out. So I had to get this letter out. Yeah.
I think her theme for 2025 is to try to like put me in uncomfortable positions and give me a heart attack. I mean,
No,
that's
it's
what she's
to, it's
doing.
so it's so the world can see how great you are.
Oh, yeah. We'll
Oh,
see.
Mm.
We'll see. After I've had a couple drinks, I'm fantastic. Especially after you've had a couple drinks. That's the magic.
That's the thing. That's why
I'm
cocktail
very
hour is
charming
first.
after you've been drinking.
everybody's
Oh.
charming after you've had a few drinks.
Mhm,
Everything. Everything becomes a little clearer. Stephen calls
mhm,
it truth serum.
mhm. I call it
Sometimes.
liquid painkiller. No.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Oh, oh man.
Oh,
Well,
that's.
I was gonna ask though, because you have mentioned that there are workshops and panels taking place there.
Mhm.
Are either or both of you on some of the programming, or are you just attending to hang out this weekend?
We
Well,
are we
yeah.
found a panel. Yeah. Dee,
Yeah, I just
why
found
don't you
out
tell
last night that I was on a panel because I was like, I'm not on a panel. I deliberately said no panels and didn't fill out the thing because I was like, I'm just going to get the stress over with the the spirit of giving on the first night, and then I'll just cruise the rest and not worry
Cruise.
about anything. And then they're like, oh no, you're magically on a panel and it's on Sunday. So you have to worry about it all weekend. So I'm on the Splatstick horror comedy panel, and my guess is that since there are so few people that write horror comedy, that they were like, "Well, we need somebody." So I don't care if said she didn't want to do panels. We're desperate. So,
Mhm. That's gonna be
so
so
James
good.
told me last night I was on it, and then he was like, "I'm moderating, but I think I'm going to make you the moderator, so I may or may not be moderating that panel as well."
I love
You know,
James so much.
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Uh,
He blamed it
I've
on
sit on a
West
panel
Coast
with
time. I
James.
don't know.
Sitting on a panel with James is a unique experience. I have sit on a hilarious panel with James. It's quite fun.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
of
he's
course, it's Sunday morning after Saturday night, which should be interesting,
Oh,
so we'll be
well,
top of our game, I promise. Yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
What panel
just
are
with
you
one
on,
eye
Rebecca?
open.
So this is gonna sound silly after Dee is like telling everybody I'm her bully, but
In the
my
best way possible, with love. With
my
love.
my
You're
my
like that
panel.
stage mom that pushes me out on the stage into the spotlight while I'm like, "Oh!" in the best possible way.
I'm your drunk stage auntie. I'm just
Yeah.
clapping.
There you go.
Clapping
Mhm.
backstage. I'm on a networking etiquette panel. So
Oh
like
my god, are
how
you kidding?
Ooh,
I know I'm not. It's like how not to be a rude jerk to people.
Okay. Okay.
that's
Okay.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
it.
That's totally sweet. Can I come to it and heckle you?
Yes, absolutely. Because Holly and Steven, though, I got strong feelings about how you should act at
Yes.
panels and stuff, you know?
I'm
Yes.
probably breaking
Yes.
all of those rules right now. She's gonna be
No,
like,
you're
"Ugh."
not. You're not.
No, 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 no. You
Mhm.
haven't seen me on a panel. When I was on that panel with James, I had a pitcher of beer with a straw in it.
My kind of
And
lady.
I
We're gonna
drank
be
said
besties. Did
pitcher
you
of
know that?
beer
We're
with
gonna
the
be besties.
yeah, it was gone within that panel. And Steven
Mhm.
wouldn't go get me another one who was sitting in the audience. And I said,
Mhm.
Steve, go get me another pitcher. He wouldn't do it. I said, fine, I'll do it when the panel's over. And I did.
I'll
Well,
raise you one on that pitcher of
I
beer.
wanted
I
to
once
make
did a
sure.
pitcher of mind eraser.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea. So at least it was just beer, Steve. I mean, come on.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
That
I
was
try to,
it was
I tried.
it was a Sabata panel, so you know it was
It
a
was.
fun topic because he always brings us just hilarious stuff. I mean, the panels he brings are absolutely fun. I mean, yeah, he plans some good ones.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I'm looking at the panels right now, and there's some good stuff. There's Kill Mary Shag Monster Edition.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we know kind of how that's gonna go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ask a prison guard. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't make this up. Hagsploitation, witches and horror. Fantastic.
Nice.
I'm not kidding. I'm going to take so many notes that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
love
by
panels.
far.
I
Oh,
bring my notebook and I sit there
Yep.
and I learn so much.
and Tim Wagner is giving a workshop about movie novelizations because he had a bunch come
Mm.
out this year. He
Right.
did the
Mhm.
X trilogy
Right. Oh, yeah.
novelizations and the
Terrifier,
Halloween and
Terrifier
Terrifier.
stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, he's
Yeah,
on
he's been
fire with
busy.
that. So he's doing that. Oh, Saturday morning though, 8:30 a.m. So don't party on Friday night because Tim's thing's at 8:30 a.m. because he's clearly a morning early worm. But
Mhm.
yeah, just add writer script a page about novelizations, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah. Well, Tim is one of the best workshop presenters you're going to find. I mean,
well, I mean, he's a teacher in his
always.
real life,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
practice, right?
Yeah. He is superb, and yeah, he knows his stuff. I love watching his Facebook page though because his updates. I mean, it's crazy what pace he keeps. He has always got a new project being finished or coming to the
Mhm.
finish line, and
He's a machine.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Whatever that magic
amazing.
productivity dust is, I need some of that. So
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Holly, what else were you wanting to know about the big weekend coming up at AuthorCon V and Spirited Giving? Is there anything we haven't covered yet?
I'm trying to think. We've covered panels,
Hmm.
workshops. We've covered guest. We've
Yeah.
covered,
Spirited
oh
giving.
gosh, spirited giving, what it's for. Well, you described what the organization does and how they help people and how important it is.
Uh-huh.
Um, and how, people being there for you, the least little things, the happiness is in the small details. I mean, the least little gesture when you're in a position like that goes a long way towards
Mhm.
your healing process, and it really does. And horror people seem to be some of the best, as far as like giving or wanting to help out with charities, and which I find wonderful. And I know a lot of cosplayers too. A lot of cosplayer groups uh,
Mhm.
like to do, the charities and scares that care too. So that's wonderful. But where do you see this going in like 5 years? Where do you think it's how much is this going to grow? I mean, do you think it's going to be a big circuit? Are we looking, how much farther do you think we could take the spirited giving?
I mean, that is maybe a question for James, but I do hope that this continues next year. This is the first year that Spirited Giving has paired up with Scares That Care. The two prior times that James has run Spirited Giving, it's been the pre-party for StokerCon. So this is
Mhm.
new, having it attached to Scares That Care.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I knew it that he had it right before StokerCon, but yeah, I forgot this is the first year. Yeah, for AuthorCon,
I think
and
that's
that's
fantastic
awesome.
because,
Yeah.
like more readers go to this event. So, I mean, StokerCon is mostly for just us horror writer geeks. So, this is kind of
Mhm.
just a brand new audience that I think would be
Mhm.
pretty receptive. So, hopefully. And then, of
Yep.
course, Scares That Care had their first St. Louis show back in October.
Oh
So, I
yeah.
feel like they're trying
Mhm.
to build up a second event in the same year, in one
Mhm.
year, so that there be two events to raise money
Neat.
for the
3, I think.
charity aspect. So, we'll see how that goes.
Mhm.
Neat.
Killer Pride is new too, I believe, from Scares That Care.
Hmm.
So it might be 3 now.
Oh
Really?
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
So they are
Wow.
growing.
yeah, Killer
Yeah.
Pride I think is in the fall.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
where's it at?
You know what? I can tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Look
Okay.
that one
I
up
can
because
tell you.
you stumped me. But
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, well, it's I think this one is fairly new. I don't think they've ever done this before.
Mm-hmm.
September 26th to 28th.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
also in the same hotel in Williamsburg, Virginia. Um so yeah, Killer Pride.
Nice.
Fun.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question that I do think I don't think we have asked yet, but if people listening tonight and tomorrow when we distribute the podcast, they're interested and they think this is a great concept and they think everything you're talking about is really cool. How do people support it? How do people get involved or support everything that's Spirit of Giving, Scares of Care, AuthorCon V? Do you have some info or guidance on how to support everything
I
or get
do.
involved?
So you can go to the scaresthatcare.org website, and there is a tab called How to Help. And so you can donate directly. You can volunteer. There's a volunteer application. Or you can, get tickets and come hang out with us and have fun and, give to charity while you're doing it.
Yeah, you can get the tickets right from Scares That Care. If you go under
Mhm.
the charity events tab, AuthorCon 5, and then scroll down, it's got all the guests of honors and all of the get tickets for different sessions are on the bottom. So it's really easy. Very, very easy. So
Great,
Yeah, so
great.
give them your money.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and
They
yes,
do
and
good
this is
things.
one of those charities where the money actually is going to the cause.
Yep.
mhm.
There's that's one of the great things about this, and why Holly and I are very supportive of what you're doing. Because this is this money really does go to the help. It goes to the individuals that are chosen to help. It's definitely a
Mhm.
good charity.
Right.
So I want to make that clear too. And But yeah, I know that I know that DM's got a newsletter to work on,
Oh,
so
jeez.
I don't want to keep you on
I mean, it won't be
too
the
much.
first time that I had to pull it out of my butt at the last minute. I mean, just to be frank. I always manage. But seriously,
But
though, normally I'm more prepared, but it's
but
been a week.
Well, now you've
before
got
we
some
do,
more
yeah,
ideas, hopefully,
yeah,
as you could
we
throw in
do.
here.
But before we do log out for the night, though, I do want to give both of you a chance to tell folks where to find each of you, so they can follow you on either social media or websites, your platforms, because I definitely want to encourage folks to support you guys individually and get behind your work and check it out. And I certainly, DM, I'm definitely gonna give. Rebecca already knows I'm love her work, but yes, I'm gonna definitely be checking out the series and seeing if I can find a way to get a copy of that vinyl. So, but but
Dee, why don't you go ahead, give them all your
Well,
pertinent.
I am at dmgay.com, but I'm going to throw a wrench in it and be like, it's Guay, not Gay, just because I'm French and I like to mess with telemarketers. But so it's dmguay.com. So, but yeah, you type in my name. I'm pretty much the only one except for like a couple of artists in France. But I think, you'll know which one's me. So
You're
if
the
it looks
best
like
one.
someone dressed as the Bride of Frankenstein, it's my account. So
With sometimes with a cockroach accompanying you in some of those photos. I love him.
yes, the manager of the night manager of 24/7 Demon Mart is a talking cockroach named Kevin who loves Dio and heavy metal music. And yes, he has his own Instagram. So
hey,
Nice.
you said Dio. That's one of my top 10 all time favorite artists. So there you go.
well, yeah, you
Nice.
feel me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm at RebeccaCuthbert.com. And I'm on a few of the socials, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram. And if folks are interested in my work, they can pick up a copy of Self-Made Monsters, which is now an Imagine Award finalist, which is super exciting. Thank you again.
Woohoo.
Or my new book, 6 O'Clock House and Other Strange Tales, which just came out in January.
Nice.
All right. Well, I wanted to thank both of you, Rebecca. It's great to have you on
Yes.
again, and Dee, we're definitely going to have you on as a guest in the future too, because I have had a great time getting to find out more about what you do, and certainly it seems like we have common ground in types of music and vinyl and things like that as well. So that is awesome. So I wanted to thank you, and before I turn it over to Holly to close things out, but I really appreciate your time and hope Spirited Giving and AuthorCon and everything goes wonderful because it's a great cause.
No, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Well,
All
thank
right,
you
Holly.
all. Thank you all for tuning in, and thanks to our wonderful guest. And yeah, keep us in the loop. Let us know what you're up to, and yeah, we'll definitely have to get you back on as a guest. And and Rebecca, I want you to know your poetry book, lovely poetry book, is on my bedside table stand right here, and I pick it up and read a poem every now and then. I love it. So yeah,
Thank you.
I am a fan.
Oh,
But yes, love you and can't wait to see you in July.
absolutely.
Um, but yeah, you guys kick ass. Have a great con, AuthorCon and Spirited Giving, and yeah, I wish you both much success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, guys, and everyone out there in podcast land. Join us next Wednesday, same place, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Another great guest, another great chat. And for the rest of the week, be creative. Good night, all.